Hi, this is Ken Go of the Oregonian, and here are three things I'll be watching this weekend in college football. First, Oregon, Michigan State, titanic game, certainly locally and probably nationally as well. Two top 10 teams. The Ducks travel to East Lansing to play. That'll be a difficult trip, difficult road environment for the Ducks. A lot of heat this weekend or this week on the Oregon defense, which did not look particularly good last week in a season-opening win over FCS Eastern Washington. The Eagles passed Oregon's secondary silly. The Ducks got very little pass rush on the Eastern Washington quarterbacks. It leads a lot of people to wonder what might happen when Michigan State quarterback Connor Cook takes aim at Oregon. A lot of people believe Cook will be an NFL player sometime soon. I think a lot of the concern is overblown. I think Oregon's defense is better than it showed against Eastern Washington. Let's face it, that was a vanilla game for the Oregon defense. The Ducks didn't really need to show anything special in that game to win it. And so it turned into a little bit of a shootout, but I didn't think, and I don't think anybody else really thought either, that Eastern Washington was ever a big threat to win the game. This week, obviously different. I think a different performance by the Oregon defense. The Ducks don't have to be perfect. They don't even have to be great. They just have to slow down Michigan State enough for Oregon's offense to get into gear and score points. And I think that's possible. I'm not saying it will happen, but I expect a very good game, a very close game, a relatively high-scoring game. But let's not get so focused on the Oregon defense we forget that the point of playing the game is to win. And it doesn't really matter how many yards the defense gives up or how many points it gives up or how many yards the best receiver on the other team has. At the end of the game, what matters is who wins the game. And win or lose, I expect Oregon's defense to play well enough to put the Ducks in position to win. Also, Oregon State's defense is going to be under the gun this week at Michigan. Another tough road environment for a local team. The Big House seats roughly 110,000 people, which will be the biggest crowd that any of the Oregon State Beavers ever have played before. I also believe that it's going to be a big test for Oregon State's deep offense. The Beavers, whichever quarterback they use, will be playing a true freshman in his first road game as a college quarterback. I think it's going to be very difficult for Oregon State to move the ball. That's going to put a lot of heat on the Beavers' defense. Now, Oregon State's defense looked pretty good last week against Weber State. I think for Oregon State to have a chance to win, the OSU defense is going to have to keep them in it, and it's going to take a break or two at some point in the game, special teams, defense creating a turnover, something like that for Oregon State to have a chance to win. A very tough chore for Gary Anderson's team in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And the third thing I'll be watching is the Utah State game. It may not get a lot of attention nationally, but this is a very bitter and highly contested rivalry in Utah. One of the longest standing rivalries in college football. And this is the last game for a while, maybe forever. I think that'll leave Utah State with a lot of emotion, and I think they'll have a lot invested in winning this game. Utah's coming off of a very big win over Michigan last week. Big national spotlight in that game, emotional win for the Utes. This is a trap game for Utah, and I suspect this game will be difficult for Utah to win. I think it's going to be close. I think we'll find out a lot about Utah. You know, what kind of team this is, and whether the Utes really shape up as contenders in the Pac-12. So this is Ken Go, the Oregonian. These are the three things I'll be watching this weekend in college football.